Ann Doyle from Ann Doyle Strategies. She was an automotive executive, a journalist, now a leadership consultant, author, and city councilwoman from Auburn Hills. Congresswoman one day, maybe, huh? What do you think? You got the chops.
Don't even get me into that right now.
You know what I am?
I can't figure out even who to vote for right now.
Well, nobody can. Look at the numbers in the Democratic race. Andy Dillon, 34.3%. Virg Bernero, 25.1%. Undecided in the Democratic primary, which is 2 weeks away, 39.5%.
Yeah, that's astonishing. That's almost 40% undecided. And I'll tell you, I have to put myself in that category. It doesn't surprise me at all. And all the conversations I have with people, and I bet you're the same, Michael Patrick, nobody really has kind of won people's hearts and confidence here.
And it's a dead heat on the Republican side with Congressman Hoekstra, Attorney General Cox, and then Rick Snyder, and your man, Oakland County Sheriff Mike Bouchard, a little bit behind there with 11.6%. But nevertheless, it's not out of the realm of possibility that any one of those four at the moment could vault to the top and win. Let me ask you this, and now because I know the kind of things that you like to talk about sometimes, and this one struck me as interesting for you.
Okay.
According
you
to
never know what you're going to throw at me, Michael Patrick. Okay, what is this?
Isn't that the fun part? According to a new poll from QVC, a woman hits her beauty and confidence peak at what age?
40.
31. That's what
31.
they're saying.
Okay.
Survey of more than 2,000 men and women ranked confidence as the most important trait in making a woman attractive.
Right. I do like to talk about this topic, obviously, because I'm a woman, and but also it's I think of great interest to men as well. I'm surprised at the 31, to tell you the truth, and I say that because of all the work I do in terms of leadership and the work I'm doing on this book. The biggest issue for women right now, in terms of them really moving from being the achievers that they are in the United States today to the leaders that they still have not tapped their potential in being, is confidence. Confidence, confidence, confidence. And there's many, many reasons for that. A lot of it is cultural. A lot of it is, we don't have the centuries and the thousands and thousands of role models so that young girls growing up see themselves in all the different ways that men really do. And so 31 to me is very surprising in terms of them hitting their stride in terms of confidence.
Yeah, that's the funny part. You would think that with the more experience, the confidence level would go up. However, then the physical beauty comes in. Physical beauty was the second choice in what makes a woman attractive. And they start worrying, don't they, as they get toward 40 and 50 about their physical appearance, perhaps when compared to a 31-year-old.
Well, that's another thing about women. I mean, women always worry about their appearance. I mean, you can have the most beautiful woman, and she's going to say, I think I'm maybe an 8 or something like that. We are the toughest on ourselves, and I have to admire in men the confidence that they have about, their looks, regardless of what they look like. Yeah, it's a dilemma. There's no question about it, and women are toughest on ourselves.
31. That's the. Well, I'm not so sure about that. I'm with you. I don't think so. I'm just going through my own personal top 10 at the moment, and that would skew much older than 31 for what it's worth. Alan Mullally. Let's switch to men now, if we can. He's heading up your old company, the Ford Motor Company, and totally on a roll.
Well, Alan Mullally is hot, and I'm not talking about his looks, although he's really a charming man and an optimist and certainly loaded with confidence. But Alan Mullally, in terms of what he has done at Ford Motor Company, is really impressing not only us around here but also Wall Street. Really, they're on a tremendous roll, and even some of the toughest auto analysts are really saying they have never seen such a dramatic turnaround. And one of them called this Ford not only profitable now, but the most profitable mass market automaker in the world. So they still have a lot of debt. They still have some issues, but Alan Mullally has really done a lot of things right at Ford.
I don't know how old Lindsay Lohan is, but Lindsay Lohan's supposed to go to jail today. And she's supposed to go to jail for 90 days because she violated probation on a 2007 drunk driving case. And you saw the video a couple weeks ago when she was in court, and the sentence was handed down. She went into shock, like, wait, me? I'm a celebrity. I'm going to go to jail? And she had fingernails painted with the words F you, and she used the whole words. And she looked at her attorney like, what? This can't be happening. And she went into shock. Now, the word is this weekend she's been barely able to sleep. She's crying, chain smoking, chewing her nails, a nervous, fidgety mess. And family and friends are worried about her, quote, fragile state, end quote. I don't mean to be, to pick on her, but after all, she behaved as if the rules didn't apply to her, and now she's surprised when the punishment is handed down.
Lindsay Lohan is unfortunately kind of an icon of a lot of what's going on with this Gen Y new millennial generation. And if there are parents out there and educators out there who are deeply involved in this, you know what I'm talking about. And I'm raising an 18-year-old son who is kind of in the middle of that group. Lindsay Lohan's right out on the kind of leading edge of that. But, there is this incredible sense of entitlement. There is this incredible sense of, it's not my fault. It's always somebody else's fault. I am appalled at the amount of drinking, smoking cigarettes, smoking pot. I mean, all this stuff. I mean, what's going on right now to me with young people is really disturbing. And you have celebrities like a Lindsay Lohan that, is covered. Every move they make is covered and celebrated. It really just reinforces all of that. So it's tragic. It's sad. But I think she's just the tip of the iceberg. We have a lot of big issues with this generation.
Yeah, that'll be a scene today for sure. I'm sure the helicopters and the paparazzi will all be out as she turns herself in. And much like it was when Paris Hilton had what did they call? She had some sort of a panic attack when it was time to go to. Well, who could blame her? She had to go to jail. Who wouldn't have a panic attack when it's time to go to jail? But we're supposed to feel sorry for her because she's Paris Hilton.
Why do we cover this stuff in this way?
I don't. Because you know why? I think it is because we like to see celebrities put up on a pedestal, and we like to see them knocked down, too, like Mel Gibson and his tirade last week. It's fascinating to see inside their lives. They put themselves on display, and then you get a peek behind the curtain, and you realize nothing is as it seems, not even with the person next door most of the time.
And the self-destruction is really sad, and I'm very concerned about it being a lot more widespread than Hollywood.
You mentioned parenting, and I wanted to share this with you. The Cult Rider family in Mason, Michigan, is going through the most nightmarish week that anyone could ever imagine. Their daughter, Sarah, passed away on Saturday when she was behind the wheel of a car at a rural intersection in Mason. She was in the passenger seat while her sister, slightly older than her, was driving, and somehow they got broadsided by an oncoming vehicle, and they have apparently they have 3 daughters remaining, but Sarah's visitation will be today from 6 till 8 at the Gorsline Funeral Home in Mason, if you know the family, and from 2 to 4 tomorrow, and from 6 until 8. The funeral will be Thursday at 10:30 in the morning at the First Presbyterian Church of Mason. But the only reason that I bring it up is if you know the family, it would be a great time to reach out to them in what is, for any parent, the worst nightmare, the unimaginable happened to them this weekend.
Right. I don't know them, but I can just imagine what that family's suffering right now.
Yeah.
To be a parent, and somebody said being a parent is, you basically you put your heart outside yourself, and it's walking around in someone else's body.
That's a very interesting way to put it. And you hold your breath, I would think, most of the time, especially when it comes to vehicles and cars and this sort of thing. So our prayers are with them, most certainly. And we appreciate your chat this morning, too, Ann, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
Ann Doyle from Ann Doyle Strategies. You can find her at Ann Doyle Strategies with an E on the end of her name.